We're going to write a song right now. Are you ready? Hello and welcome to Guitar Club. This is a new series I'm wanting to try out in which we take a song, look at it and analyse it, and then we start making a new song from what we've learned about the song. Today we're going to look at the song Crazy by Gnarls Barkley. I'm going to go through my analysis with you first. If you want to do your own analysis of the song, then I've got a free guide sheet that you can download just by visiting the link in the description box below. The song Crazy was released in 2006 by the duo called Gnarls Barkley, featuring the singer CeeLo Green and Danger Mouse, the producer. It's one of the decade's most unforgettable songs. From the first listen, the first thing that jumps out at me is just how catchy the song is. It's really not difficult to understand why it was such a big hit. The song is really kind of like an old school soul style song mixed with modern beats. The structure of the song. So the song has three parts. I'm going to call them the A section, the B section, the C section. The A section is like a verse, the B section is like a chorus, and the C section is like a bridge or a refrain section that's repeated a couple of times, and it comes after the choruses and before the verses. The structure is just A, B, A, B, C, A, B, C, A. The chords and the progression. So the key of the song is in C minor. The progression goes from a 1 minor chord to a flat 3 major to a flat 6 major to a 5 major dominant sus4 thing, which we'll come to in a second. The main progression throughout the song is the 1 chord, which is C minor, to the flat 3 major chord, which is E flat major, to the flat 6 major chord, which is A flat major 7 in the A section. And then in the B section and the C section, it's just an A flat major chord. Then it goes to the 5 chord, which is a G7 sus4 to a G7 chord. Now that sus4 to the 7 change just has a nice bit of movement to that 5 chord. And the 5 chord leads you back to the 1 chord, which is minor, or in section C, the 1 chord, which is major. So in the C section, the progression's pretty much the same, except it's changed that first chord into a C major instead of C minor. Then the second chord is now the 6th chord, which is A flat. Then to the flat 3 chord, which is E flat. And then the same thing again on that G7. The interesting thing for me in this progression is the use of the C minor chord in the A and B section and the C major chord in the C section. This works really well because the progression always ends on the 5 chord, and the 5 chord in this progression being G major or G7 leads really well into either C major or C minor, so that's something you might want to try out and see if you can experiment with. The melody is mostly coming from CeeLo Green's vocals, which he's singing in a very soulful style. So if you do have a good soul voice, then you might want to try a soul style approach to this progression. If you don't worry about it. We're just going to use this song as like a template for you to make your own thing from. In the verses, he seems to be singing a phrase that's based around a C to an E flat, and then another phrase that's based around a G flat to an F, and then he's doing different walk-ups and walk-downs to end the phrases. In the choruses, his vocals have a lot more sustained notes in them than the verses do. In the C section, we've changed from using a C minor chord, which uses an E flat note as its minor third, to a C major chord, which uses an E note as the major third. To highlight this change, CeeLo Green has used this E note within the melody. I'm going to start with the chord progression, so I'm going to start by changing the key to A minor. So I'm going to start with an A minor chord, the 1 chord. Then I'm going to use the 6th chord, which is F major. Then I'm going to use the 3 chord, which is C major. Then I'm going to use the 5 chord, because I like the idea of this 5 chord transitioning to start the progression and maybe changing it to a major chord in a different section. So I'm going to use an E minor first as the 5 chord. And I'm going to change that to an E major or maybe an E7. And that's going to lead me really well to an A minor chord. Or it could change me into an A major chord, which I think I'm going to do. I'm going to use an A major chord. So for another section, A major, then to C major, then to F major, and then I'm going to do the same thing with the E minor to E major or E7. And that can lead me back to the A minor part or the A major part. Okay, so I'm in my Pro Tools session now, and I've put the chord progressions in as a basic piano part, just playing the chord changes. So I've put it down, so I've made like a little template. So I've got this part is the verse, and I do the verse twice. Then I've got the chorus, which is the same thing, but just doing it once. Then I've got it going back to the verse twice, and then the chorus once. So these are actually all the same. All of these parts here is the exact same thing, but that's the way I'm visualizing it because the chord progression is the same. Then I've got my C section, which is going to be the part where I've changed to the A major chord rather than the A minor. So this sounds a little bit different, and I've done this so it's done twice as well. Okay, and then it's going to go back into a verse section again twice, because I think that's a nice amount of times to do it. For if someone wants to put some vocals on it, it's quite a nice structure to follow, so you got the same amount of time for each verse. And we've got the chorus again, and then we've got the C section bridge kind of refrain section again, and then it's just going to end on an A minor chord to finish with. Simple as that. So that's my structure that I've put together. Okay, so the rhythm, so I've changed the tempo of the tune because I wanted it to be a bit more chilled out. So I've put it down to 80 BPM, which is quite a bit slower than the Gnarls Barkley tune. It's a soul type of beat again, so it's very repetitive because I wanted it to be a repetitive groove. And the only thing I've changed is when it goes to the C section where the chord changes change to the major, I've put the instead of a hi-hat pattern, it's gone to a ride cymbal playing the same pattern. So let's hear the groove so you can hear how it sounds. Sounds pretty cool to me. And now the bit that's changed to the ride cymbal. Just the same thing really. Now the bass, so the bass, I would have played the bass live, but my bass is a bit knackered, so I've used, I've made it out of MIDI, and I've used the software, the free version of Ample Bass, I believe. So let's have a listen to it. The bass line's quite straightforward, but I've just made it so it outlines the chords, and it just fits the drum groove really. So let's hear the drums and the bass together. So that's the main bass part, and during the C section, the bass part changes to this. And that's basically that. So the bass line and the drum part are all set and sorted, and the chord progression is sorted. So now I've gone through the piano part, and I've basically stripped it back. So during the verses, there's going to be no piano or keys or anything layered up like that, or ambient sound. But then during the choruses and the C section, so the B and the C section, there's going to be some key sounds, so highlighting the chords, but just sustained. So I've put a piano part, and I've also taken the same piano part and put it to like an ambient pad kind of sound. So during the choruses, that's going to sound like this. That's basically that. Then during the C section, I've done the same thing, just obviously the chords are different, so let's have a listen. There we go. So the guitar part, I want to make the guitar part just a riff that repeats and can flow throughout the entire tune. So it's going to be A note to the F note, so just root notes, then the C note, then the E note, but then at the end I'm changing it to the major third of this E chord, so the G sharp note, the first fret of the G string, and that just really highlights the fact that we've changed from an E minor to an E major. And the riff wise, I've kept it really simple. I've basically gone 2 times, then 3 times, then 3 times, then 2 times. So I'm playing basically 2 times, 3 times, 3 times, 2 times, and 2 times, 3 times, 3 times, 2 times. So let's hear that guitar part put into the mix. I've put 2 versions of the exact same guitar part with slightly different tones. So I've got one that's hard left and one that's hard right. And this is like the main riff that's gluing it all together. So this stays the same throughout the entire tune. So let's have a quick listen to it. And I've decided I'm going to put in a 3rd guitar, which is just going to be used in the C section to add another layer. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to play just octaves. So it's going to be an A as an octave. I'm going to play a G as an octave. And over that E major, I'm also going to do the thing where I highlight this G sharp, use an octave of that. I'm thinking of a rhythm just a little bit more groovy, a bit more funky, just doing something like... something like that. I've started to come up with a vocal melody idea for the chorus. I am not a very good singer, so I'm going to play it on the guitar so you can hear what my idea is. If you want to expand upon this idea or come up with your own ideas and scrap mine completely, I'd love to hear your versions of this song. So if you can come up with some lyrics and sing on it, then leave them in the comment section below, and I'd love to hear them and see if we can get you guys featured on the channel. But the idea I've been coming up with is something like this. I hope that's giving you some good ideas to get you started at writing a song. If you do write a song from this lesson, then please leave it in the comment section below. I would really love to hear your songs and get you featured on the channel. If you want to write some lyrics and a vocal and sing on my song, then feel free to download your free copy of it from the description box below, and also leave them in the comment section below, because again, I'd love to feature you on the channel. Check out these videos that are linked below. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time.